All right, so hello. So welcome to the second Be True series. If you guys don't know, this is a new series I'm going to be doing every Friday and Saturday, where I talk with different girls about the struggles that girls go through that are not really talked about enough, and we're gonna like talk and share our like advice on how to get through them, and then towards the end we'll do like a Q&A session for if you have any extra questions. So today I have, correct me, how do I pronounce it?
It's Adelaide.
Adelaide. I like
Yeah.
Adelaide. Okay, so hi Adelaide. Do you want to introduce
Hello.
you?
Yeah, so my name's Adelaide. I'm 23 years old. I'm a new YouTuber. I just started my channel like 2 months ago. Right now, I'm in university. I'm in my last semester, and I'm super excited to be here because I love this series so much. I'm so glad that you started it too. It's such a good idea. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here.
Okay, well, we're excited to have you. So, what is your struggle that you would like to talk about today?
Of course. Okay, so my main thing is going to be about kind of like overcoming insecurity throughout school and high school, and like also after that, because I feel like we all struggle with insecurities like throughout our lives. And so I feel like for me in school, I went to a really, really small school. There wasn't a lot of people there, and I went to the same school from grade 1 until grade 12. And also, there was no one really in my class who looked like me either. Like, I was the only person of color in my class for a very, very long time until maybe like grade 6. And so it was just the feeling of like wanting to be accepted or wanting to belong, but not really having anyone there who looked like me, and you kind of feel like out of place or like you don't fit in, you don't belong. And I wore my hair natural when I was younger, like my mom styled my hair naturally. But then I noticed that like since there was no one in my class who really looked like me, I really wanted my mom to relax my hair so that it could be straight, so that I could kind of like look more like the people who were around me. And natural hair wasn't really a thing back then either, like in terms of like my aunts and like cousins and everything. Everyone's hair was relaxed. So I think when maybe I was around 12 or 13 is when my mom allowed me to relax my hair. And I guess that kind of made me feel like I fit in a little bit more. But even then, like, I still didn't necessarily fit in. And then also just growing up, like, I've always been someone who's more reserved, like, more introverted. And when I was younger, like, I really saw that as something that was a weakness or something that was going to hold me back. Because in my head, I was like, oh, well, people are really only attracted or like drawn to people who are like super extroverted or super funny or like the comedian of the class, really outgoing. And I was always really quiet. So in my head, like I saw that as such a weakness and like, oh, people aren't going to like me because I don't talk that much, blah, blah, blah. And so the more insecure I got about that, the more shy that I got, the more shy that I got, the more insecure, the more shy. So I was just quiet, shy, insecure, didn't really talk to anybody. I didn't reach out to anyone because I just assumed that, like, oh, they will like me because I'm not that outgoing, super loud person with a loud personality. So,
So, did you have any friends during that time, or
oh,
did?
yeah, I did. Just like a few, maybe like one or two. And they were like my friends throughout like all of school. And we're still friends like to this day. But it was only like one or two people like throughout like my whole like school career kind of thing or experience. And so just the feeling of like feeling like, oh, people wouldn't like me because I'm too shy, too quiet, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like as I got older, my mindset started to change a little bit and I started to see it as more of a strength instead of a weakness, which it is. I feel like every like characteristic or personality trait has its strengths and its weaknesses. So even though I may be more introverted, I feel like now, even with content creating, like it helps me to think a lot more. Like I'm a thinker, I'm very like introspective, if that's the right word. So even with creating content, it's like I'm able to like sit down, envision something in my head, and then like execute it by myself. And also like, yeah, like I love like spending time with myself too, so I've learned how to like love my personality and love my character. And I feel like it's helped me to be like more of a critical thinker too, which really helps me in school. It's like I still have friends and stuff, I'm not like alone in my house 24/7, but I've, yeah. But yeah, I've started to see it as like more of a strength instead of a weakness. And I also feel like another thing that I struggled with too is like putting myself in a box. And so when I was younger, I guess I wouldn't try and like talk to certain people because in my head I was like, okay, because I'm more reserved and more shy, I can only do like A, B, C, D, but I can't do this, this, and this. So if I ever got the opportunity to like do something else in my head, I was like, oh no, like I'm too shy to do that, or I'm too reserved to do that. I can't do that. I can't go over there. I can't talk to those people. I can only stay over here where
You're
I'm comfortable. Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's so important to like step out of your comfort zone and not put yourself in a box. Like, even for example, with you, like, I don't know your thought process exactly, but I saw your video, like the end of JessCreationss thing. And so it's like you could have even thought, like, okay, like, since I only make natural hair videos, like, I can't start a new series because I only do this thing. I can't go over there and do this. But when you put yourself in that box, it's like you limit yourself so much. Like you only know what you're capable of if you actually try and do it. And so that's something that I learned a lot as I got older is like, no, like you are capable of doing these things. You just have to try. And even if you fail, it's okay. You try again, you learn, you live, you move on. Exactly. And so yeah, like changing my mindset and sort of learning to embrace these things that I thought were weaknesses and learning to embrace my flaws is really what helped me to overcome those insecurities. And obviously, like you still deal with like certain insecurities here and there that come up, but it's like I'm so much further away from where I was before in terms of like my mindset, how I think about myself. Like even doing this or like starting a YouTube channel, like if you asked me 6 years ago, like if I ever would do this, I would say no, because it's like, I don't know you, I've never met you, but we're having a conversation, right? But before I would have been like, oh no, like I can't do that, I'm too shy, la la la. So it's just really changing your mindset, learning to embrace your flaws and like,
pretty much.
exactly. And like learning to embrace your uniqueness too. And I feel like in society, like even like in the beauty industry and everything, it's like we're always told that the way that you are is not good enough. So it's like, okay, if you have curly hair, they tell you that you need to straighten your hair. If you have straight hair, you need to curl your hair. If your hair is flat, you need more volume. If your hair has volume, you need to thin it out. So it's like we're always told that, okay, who you are is not good enough. You need to change. But at the end of the day, the fact that we're all unique and the fact that we're all different, the fact that we're not all the same is what makes us beautiful. So it's just really learning to embrace your uniqueness because you don't have to be like everybody else. The world would be really boring if like we all looked the same and acted the same, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
So was there like a point in your life, because I know for me, I used to be very I mean, I guess I would say I'm introverted, but I feel like I'm. If you guys saw the previous live, we
Yeah.
maybe introvert, extroverted. I don't know,
Mhm.
but you know, when I was in high school, I was very shy, reserved. Very, you know, I had, you know, little insecurities, but I felt like I had to do something to push myself, which
Mhm.
was everybody will always tell me, join a club. And I'm just like, well, yeah, that sounds nice, but that just, I mean, of course, it's like, what? Like, it's just weird. It's hard for a person who, you know, is shy to put themselves out there. But I ended up forcing myself to join a club, which was FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, because I was kind of interested in business and wanted to be better at that. And once
Mhm.
I did that, I ended up becoming the president of the club. I ended up designing all the shirts. Like, everything just changed, and I could say that marked my change
Mhm.
into coming out of my shell and learning how to be around people, interact, and know
Mhm.
that, you know, I have something to offer to people, just because I'm a little more reserved and I'm not like the people who are extroverted, like, hey, look at me,
Yeah.
you know. You don't have to be like that, you know. So
Exactly.
you attract those whatever similar kind of people. So what was your
Exactly.
like turning point,
Mm.
or did you have anything, or did you just like, I mean, over
I
time?
feel like yeah, I feel like it was like a slow process of me changing my mindset, but at the same time, like I started serving in my youth group at my church. At first, I was like teaching Sunday school, and then I started serving in the youth group. And at first, I was like really reserved and stuff. I wouldn't like talk to people that much. But after a while, like if you're serving like in some sort of group, like the club that you joined or some sort of like community, you have to learn how to like step out of your comfort zone and do things that you might not be used to doing. And so I feel like that's what really helped me to like recognize that I was capable of doing things that I thought I wouldn't be, because now I organize events for the girls in the youth group. So like we'll hang out and have like discussions like this, like little like girl chat things or like Q&A. Before, I never thought that I would be able to lead something like that, but because I pushed myself out of my comfort zone to do that, it helped me to see what I was capable of. And that's how like I was able to change my mindset and realize like, oh, this thing like doesn't have to hold you back unless you allow it to.
Yeah, and once you do it,
Yeah.
it's like, "Hey, this is not so bad." Like, why did it take
Exactly.
me so long to
Exactly.
do this? But you
That's
have
so
to. You
true.
have to start.
Mhm.
The hardest part is starting, going there,
Exactly.
doing that thing. So, yeah, I totally understand what you mean. So, so would you say like, as far as confidence tips, or even when you were in school or what in your college, which one was it where it was mostly different people? Like you were the only black person? Was that high
Oh,
school?
my high school, or like, yeah, my whole school, like grade 1 to grade 12.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, so during college, it was obviously a little more diverse for you.
Oh yeah, it was I mean, it was a little bit, but I think what I was studying, it still wasn't really like there's classes of maybe like because I go to a really big university, so it's like classes of like 200 plus people, and there's maybe like five black people in the class. But I feel like now I'm a lot more comfortable with who I am, so that doesn't necessarily bother me. Like I can make friends with everybody. It's just when I was younger, like kind of trying to feel like I fit in or I belong somewhere, so it affected me more, if that makes sense. And also just in terms of like I'm natural now. I've been natural for like about 6 or 7 years, but when I was younger, just like yeah, it's in a bun, so you can't really tell.
Oh, that's good.
Um,
See,
yeah.
I'm looking. I looked at your content a little bit before.
Thanks. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like when I was younger, it affected me more because I was trying to like embrace myself, and I feel like representation is important when you're younger. And so since I didn't really have anyone around me who and looked like me, it was harder to kind of embrace myself. Whereas now, like I could be in a class and be the only black person and I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. That's really
Yeah.
good. So then, what like inspired you to rock your natural hair, or what made you
Oh
comfortable?
yeah. Actually, Kate, it was one of my friends who went natural first. One of my friends from high school, actually. I think it was in grade 11. And the thing is, when I was younger, my mom would always style my natural hair. And I got tired of relaxing my hair because I felt like it didn't look very healthy. And I just got kind of bored of it. And I don't necessarily like braid my hair a lot or like wear wigs and weaves. So it was like either relaxed or natural. Those were my two options. So I just decided to go natural.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Wait, I think she froze. Let's see. Oh no.
Was doing, but I've learned a lot more
Okay,
now.
you froze for a second.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was just
Yeah.
my part, but you froze for a little while. But okay. I didn't hear like the last part of what you said.
Oh, I was saying I found oh, I don't know where it cut off, but I found like YouTubers like Natural 85, yeah, and some other YouTubers, and I started watching their videos, and that's when I decided to start embracing my natural hair. And it was really hard at first because I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have like the right products and everything, but eventually I kind of learned a little bit more as I went along.
And then
Yeah.
that didn't make you feel better?
Oh yeah, it did for sure. Because it's like you're fully embracing yourself without like anything holding you back at all. It's a really, yeah, it's a really nice feeling.
That's so good. That's so good. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know. Yes, you did. Okay, somebody was confirming that you froze, but you're okay. But yeah, I mean, it is a process. I mean, obviously, I feel like it's something that you have to recognize in yourself and have
Mhm.
to want to work towards it. Like you have to make the conscious effort
Exactly.
to be able to put, like we said, push yourself to do something that you may be afraid to
Mhm.
do, but that's a part of learning. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
I know that I'm introverted, but at the same time, like again, like I mentioned in the previous live, it's like sometimes people like say I'm just introverted, so I'm just this way, this is how I'm gonna be, and I don't think necessarily that's a good thing. Like, you don't, I
Exactly.
mean, you can be naturally, of course, if you're naturally like, I love being at home, I love being by myself or whatever the case
Mhm.
may be, but I mean, if I'm like that, what, I'm not gonna be able to experience, I'm limiting myself, and then once I get out there and do meet other, it's just a part of growth. You don't want to just stay
Exactly.
yourself, as
Exactly.
scary as that may be. I mean, I have anxiety on top of that. So it's like, yeah, it's hard, but I can tell you all the times that I pushed myself to get out of my comfort zone or talk to somebody or try a new thing. No
Mhm.
regrets ever. I've
Exactly.
be the person I am today. So
Exactly. That's how you grow. And I feel like that's how, yeah, it's like what you said before about like just starting. Like you just have to start it, you just have to do it. And then you'll see as you go that you are capable of doing these things that maybe in your head you limited yourself before. It's like
or
just that thing of starting it.
somebody may have put something in your head like, oh, you can't do that, or you can't, like, what? I mean, so
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, you just have to push yourself really. And it's like even if you do it and you fail, like that's a part of life. When you try again, you learn.
that wasn't good for you. Move on.
Exactly,
I've
exactly.
heard, I always hear, because I like to watch a lot of podcasts and entrepreneurs and stuff like that. I
Mhm,
follow Gary Vaynerchuk, and anybody knows
mhm.
him. But I mean, the biggest thing I feel like they say, the more you fail, the more you learn.
Exactly. Because how else are you going to learn like if you never try? Like you're just gonna be in your little box, like never doing anything else if you don't try and push yourself to do something else.
Think about it when you were young and you were like a baby and you were learning how to walk, or like when you were learning how to ride a bike. Like,
Mhm.
you're not, I mean, if a baby didn't keep up and get up and keep trying, they just sat there, they would never learn how to walk. So
Exactly.
yeah. And I mean, of course you fall down a couple times, or even if you're riding a bike you fall, whatever, but I mean, the end result is
Exactly.
you
You
always
just
learn.
keep trying.
So that's good. So did you have, would you feel like you're there as far as confidence wise? I mean, did you, or do you feel like you have any like other areas or
Hmm. I feel like I am there now, but it's just certain insecurities like pop up here and then, but it's like I push those out of my mind if that makes sense. So it's like sometimes you can or sometimes I'll start to like compare myself to people around me, but I stop myself in the middle of that and I'm like, no, like you don't need to compare yourself to anybody else. You are unique, you're in your own lane, you don't have to compare yourself. And so I push it out and I keep on moving. Like I don't allow it to stay in my head and affect the way that I feel about myself.
That's so good. Yeah, it's honestly just looking at yourself like you're unique. Don't try to fit in.
Exactly.
Try to fit in and keep up with the Joneses.
Exactly.
Like, it's tiring and you're unhappy at
Yeah.
the end of the day. And then it's like also with social media. I mean, social media is just like you have to. It's hard because subconsciously I feel like everybody knows that social media is people putting out, especially Instagram and stuff like that. It's just putting out their best
Best.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
nobody, I mean, rarely, I mean, I'm not gonna say nobody, but nobody's gonna put out if they're feeling sad and just take a
Yeah,
picture of
exactly.
them depressed or crying or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, like, we know that, but still, it's like the more we scroll, and it's like you get stuck
Yeah.
into that sunken hole of, which is why for
Exactly.
me at one point I actually decided to what did I do? I unfollowed, which I always would hear people say this, but I was like, it's not that big of a deal. But
Mm,
sometimes it's like you have to have more people on your feed that's presenting, that's making that's
mm.
what serving a purpose for you,
Exactly.
and just somebody there for you to look at and be like, oh, I wish I had her hair. I wish I had.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's so true.
that and then having a message towards it, okay, but I feel like there's so many people on Instagram, that's why I feel like people get into the comparison.
Exactly, that's so true. But yeah, the thing about unfollowing people, like I did the same thing. Like just make sure that whatever is like on your feed, like you said, is serving a purpose, is either like encouraging you or pushing you to be like a better version of yourself instead of like just wishing that you look like these people that you're looking at, you know, and they only put out their best self, like you said. But it's still hard to like not compare yourself, even though you know that
Yeah.
it's their best self. So just make sure whatever you're following is like going to help you and not pull you back.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So for everyone who is still okay, shout out to Fatty. I can't even say. I feel so bad.
I think it's Fatim.
Thank you. Fatim, Taylor, Azaria, Whitney, Miss Jama. I still don't know if I should say Jama or Jama. But if you guys did you have any questions? I guess right now we can like answer some questions while we are, I mean, how are you guys feeling about the conversation? Do you agree, disagree, have any pointers? Let us know. But yeah, so I mean, how is it? How is your YouTube journey going?
Oh, I mean, it's new. I just started like 2 months ago, but I actually really like it. Like, yeah, I feel like my channel's growing steadily, which is good. And like I really enjoy making content. Like I love thinking of like video ideas and then executing it. I'm just learning like different like editing skills and stuff because I've never edited videos before, but it's really fun. Like
Yeah,
I really enjoy it. Yeah.
that's good. That's good. Did you have any like extra questions as far? Did you have any questions while waiting for other questions? If anybody has anything that they want to
Hmm.
talk about or anything like that, or any other insights or things that you noticed or advice or anything that helped you.
I had a question before that I thought of, but I don't remember it now. It was to ask you. I guess a question I can think of is like, okay, so for this series, like I was mentioning before, how sometimes like we put ourselves in boxes and we don't allow ourselves to like venture out. So being like a YouTuber who did like only natural hair videos before, was there any process that you went through or anything, any advice that you can give on how you were able to like kind of step out and start showing like more of who you truly are in terms of like doing this series and doing more like girl chat videos instead of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
does that make sense?
It was a process. It was really a process because I would do it a little bit here and there and then I wouldn't see the results. And when I say results,
Mm,
I mean views, unfortunately,
yeah,
which is not a good way to tell if you're doing well or not, to be honest.
yeah,
Because, like, the thing is, when you grow on YouTube, the numbers can get to you. Like you can just be so used to seeing a number and not realize that there are, I mean, but you have to remind yourself that those are people. Like even if you
yeah,
get only 50 views or 15, that's 15 people you are making an
exactly,
impact on, or they're watching your, like that's more people than I mean,
exactly.
so it's just like
Yeah.
it's just, so I guess I got wrapped into the cycle of expecting, oh, since I get this many views on my hair videos, oh,
Mhm.
why am I not getting it? Does people not like it? Oh, people don't like me personally, and then
Yeah,
the whole cycle. So I mean, I just honestly, I watched a lot of Gary Vee's video. Like, if you guys
yeah,
ever struggle with like confidence or just stuff in business, if you are into becoming an entrepreneur or just
mhm,
anything, like he talks about everything. He's really, really good. So honestly, watching him every day, just beating into your, because he's the type of person that's gonna tell you like it is and
mhm.
get you out of the negative mindset that you may be in. So I just think watching a lot of his content and then also just realizing that just thinking about my future and where I want to take, like, what is my purpose? That
Yeah,
I don't want to live life for other people. And I actually am happy that I had a moment. Obviously, I mean, you progress while you're on YouTube anyways. So it's like when I was at that stage, I was very into doing hairstyles and blah, blah, blah,
mhm,
blah, blah. And I'm thankful for that period because
mhm,
obviously that
mhm.
helped. But obviously I'm growing up and I'm realizing that I want to expand on my purpose. And it's just like,
Exactly.
yes, it may suck because some people may not come with me, but at the same time, just like I was able to grow my building off of hair videos, it's
Yeah.
like I told myself I had to literally restart my whole channel. Like, this
Mhm.
is not gonna be a hair channel anymore. And this is, I mean, I could make a second channel, but I just realized, no, I'm not gonna do that because I mean, I still want to do hair videos and I just want to change my channel overall. But at the same time, I had to put in my mindset that since I started off with like a common hair channel, I have to rebrand myself. And then over time, if I be consistent with those videos, then I'm going to attract those people who want to, you know, see my other
Exactly.
vlogs or whatever. So
Exactly.
that may take time, obviously, but it's just like, honestly, I had to tell myself, just like, girl, you're starting over, which is why I said
Yeah.
just creations, because it's like, it
Mhm.
honestly was a video to help me as well as show other people like, okay, this is like, I'm not a hair girl anymore.
Mhm.
Just a hair girl anymore. So
Yeah. I
yeah.
love that. And I feel like it's also like important, like if you are like creating content to just be like genuine and authentic to who you are as a person. Cause it's like, okay, you could have maybe just continued only doing natural hair videos in order to get more views, but then it's like, would you have really been happy like making that content? Like, and
Yeah,
it's also like, yeah.
it up. I could have been making so like I know what videos sell. I know if I
Mhm.
made hairstyle videos,
Mhm.
everybody would be loving that. I would have so much views and get monetized and all that stuff like that. But that's not my end result. I can really care less about the money. Obviously, I don't want to be
Mhm.
poor and broke.
Yeah.
But I value like I want to be happy and I look at
Mhm.
my future and how do I want to, you know, build my life towards happiness and a happy future and blah blah blah
Mhm.
blah. So I mean, you know, that's just what it is. I just have to continue to keep my eye on what my end result, what I want it to be, and you know, it will
Exactly.
have to be. You should have to be patient too. Honestly.
Exactly. And I feel like also like people are drawn to like authenticity and authentic content. Like if sometimes you're watching people and you can tell that they're not being like genuine and authentic to who they really are. It's like, yeah, they might get a lot of views right away, but they might not get like loyal subscribers who are coming back to for them and for their personality. So it's like the fact that you're being so authentic and genuine to who you are as a person is what is going to attract people and what's going to get them to stay because they know that they're coming to someone who's being so genuine, you know?
Mm-hmm. Totally
Yeah.
agree. Totally agree. So I am assuming I have to keep track on the time. Have we only been
Yeah.
here maybe 30 minutes or something? I guess maybe 30 minutes.
Uh, yeah, it's like 30 minutes so far.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Well, I'm assuming everyone doesn't have. Again, if you guys have any questions, we're open for a Q&A. Miss Jama. I'm so attracted to Miss Jama because I see it all the time. I see you all the time, Miss Jama. So I always like to say your name. And if I'm messing up your name, sorry about that. But yeah, like I mean, yeah, it's just a process, honestly.
Exactly.
I as far as you, I mean, smaller creators, like what is the thing? I feel like do you think it's harder to grow now as a like what are some common things you've noticed as like just starting?
I don't know. I feel like it might be harder to grow now just because so many people are starting YouTube channels. So there's so much content like being created at the same time.
Of course it is harder because it's like more competition, but as far as like
Yeah.
because I've noticed that sometimes um I'm not even gonna say smaller creators, but when I say smaller, I mean like, you know, not like millions or whatever. I mean, I would say I'm
Mhm.
still a small creator, but I mean, like I've seen that a lot of people are starting to like smaller creators have a lot more views on their videos and engagement rather than a lot of like at one point for me, again, maybe because I was wish-washy, I feel like my channel has been a lot like it just even being consistent helps. I mean, if you're
Mhm.
not
Oh
consistent,
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so I feel like, I mean, yeah, it's my transition, but I also at one point was never consistent, blah, 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 blah. But, oh, wait,
Yeah, I
sorry.
can see that question.
What made you start your YouTube channel and what type of content do you want to share? That's one for you.
Mhm. Oh, what made me start? Okay, so for me, there's like more than one thing. So like the first thing is like natural hair because I know when I went natural, the thing that helped me the most was watching YouTube videos and finding people who had hair that looked like me. And so I want to help people learn to embrace their natural hair, whatever texture, whatever type that may be. So I have like series ideas in mind where like I want to get different friends of mine on and style their hair that's different from my hair texture so that people can see like, okay, even if your hair may not be what my hair looks like, your hair can still look beautiful, even if it may be like 4C or 3C or 4B, like whatever your hair texture is, you can embrace it and you can feel beautiful in your own hair. So that's what I want to do. And then also just like, I guess having a community in the sense where people learn how to embrace themselves and feel beautiful in the way that they are, like naturally. So that's what I really, really want to do. I love like makeup too. So I do makeup tutorials and stuff, but I just want to kind of build a community where people can come to learn to really like embrace themselves, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I stand for that. I mean, I feel like there needs to be more channels like that, or more people
Yeah,
that look different, different hair types, different
exactly.
skin, whatever the case may be. I mean, the more the better. So
Exactly.
it's out there more. So because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I don't know. I love all. I just feel like natural beauty is just like very not it's not promoted that much anymore.
Yeah.
And if it's natural beauty, it's fake natural beauty. It's like the filtered natural beauty and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I just feel like I just want it to be similar. Everybody knows that. I always say the same thing, but it's just like I'm passionate on feeling. I just want girls to look good and feel good, glammed up, and then
Mhm.
look good and feel good when you come up for the
Exactly.
glam and you look in the mirror and you go to sleep at night and feel, and and still feel whatever, or even going
Exactly.
out, having time where you can go out to the grocery store or go out with your friends or go with your boyfriend, and I feel like you have to overdo all the
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
That's just a thing. How to not be shy. I think we kind of brushed on that, but
Yeah.
I mean, do you have any extra tips on just
I feel like we kind of did brush on it, like stepping out of your comfort zone, but
yes.
at the same time, I guess like recognizing that there's not anything really wrong with being shy. Like if there's certain things that you want to do that you feel like you're too shy to do, then yeah, step out of your comfort zone, but just seeing it as something that can actually help you in life instead of seeing it something that's going to bring you back, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, Hi, Sarah from France. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So how is it over there in Canada right now? By the way, my forehead is so shiny because I have this ring
Okay.
light on and it's like a disco ball up here. But
Um,
yeah, how's it in Canada?
like, how is it living here?
I mean, like as far as the current climate and everything
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, we're still like quarantined or self-isolating. It's not like a lockdown or anything, but you do have to stay in
inside.
your house. You can't really go anywhere. Yeah. You can go like outside. You just have to make sure that you're social distancing, like staying 6 feet apart, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, some places are still open though,
Oh, okay,
like
okay.
drive-through restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty similar. That's pretty
Yeah.
similar to over here, I would say. I mean, it's just like, I guess as an introvert, it's not really a bad thing for you to be inside.
Yeah,
I mean, but
exactly.
honestly, the only thing I do miss, I love being outdoors. Like I love nature. I love like
Yeah.
riding bikes and going to the park and just stuff like that. So that will be like the main thing that I miss is
Mhm.
just being able to go to the park or go somewhere that's in nature
Yeah, exactly.
for hikes or whatever. I mean, I guess well, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't promote that, but I mean, I
Yeah.
still try to go on walks and everything
Oh
like
yeah, for walks and stuff is good.
just really, really good. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know if anybody this we're about to leave, and I guess I will continue this for like 5 more minutes. But I mean, I definitely feel like the moral of the conversation is to just push yourself and accept that I mean, failure's good, and if you're shy,
Mhm.
you just have to do things to get you out of your comfort zone. Join a
Exactly.
school, join some groups. I mean, if you are an adult, try to like go to like I know like there's Zumba classes. I used to go to
Yeah,
classes. I mean, whatever you're interested in, you may not be in
exactly.
classes, but like dance, like social events. Like, and I know it's scary. I mean, even the thought of me going to a social event that's like,
Yeah.
you do it, it's not that bad. Like, I promise. Like, I mean, there's been times where my friends have dragged me out. Like, I don't like going out like to the club or to whatever, but it's just like
Yeah.
whenever I go, it's usually like a good time. I'm like, okay, this is
Yeah,
cool.
it's not that bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Really.
exactly. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, is that all? Did this help you? Did you have anything else to touch, or did we sum up?
No, I feel like that was all. Yeah, I feel like that was all I really had
Okay.
to say. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's great. I mean, I hope this helped anybody who may be struggling in school. I mean, as far as your shyness or your confidence level, you
Mhm.
just have to keep working at it and just start. Just start.
Yeah,
Know
honestly.
that you are unique, and this was makes you your flaw, or not even flaws, but your quirkiness or your shy.
Yeah, differences. Yeah,
Accept that, and then also don't like become complacent either. Try to
exactly.
continue to grow and be your best self. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Adelaide.
Thank you. Oh, perfect.
Woo. Thank you. And I hope you enjoy the
Thank
rest of your day.
you. Thank you.
Bye. And bye, everybody. I will see you guys tomorrow on my next live. I mean, in my video. But